When it comes to government procurement, getting paid on time can be a huge headache. But what if the person who actually receives the goods could also be the one who pays for them, right then and there? Well, today, we're diving into a really powerful feature on the government e-marketplace, or GeM, that does exactly that. It's designed to slice right through all that red tape.
So, how does this whole thing work? First, we're going to pinpoint the exact payment bottleneck that's been slowing things down. Then we'll see GeM's super smart solution in action, and I'll walk you through exactly how to turn it on. We'll also get into why this is such a big deal for everyone involved and cover a couple of important details you'll want to remember. Let's get into it.
All right, first up, let's talk about the problem. Before we can really appreciate the solution, we need to understand the challenge that's been baked into the traditional government procurement cycle for a long, long time.
Okay, picture this. The goods get delivered, the consignee, the person on the ground, confirms everything is perfect. But does the payment process start? Nope. Instead, a whole mountain of paperwork has to get shipped off to a completely different office, maybe the buyer or some finance department, just to get the bill processed. And every single time that paperwork changes hands, that's another chance for things to get delayed, creating this incredibly frustrating bottleneck for vendors.
Okay, so that's the problem. Now for this solution. Let's dive into Section 2 and see how the GeM platform offers a really elegant way to cut through that mess and create a workflow that's just so much more direct and efficient.
The entire solution really hinges on empowering one key person, the consignee. Think about it. This is the person on the ground, the end user who actually gets the delivery and inspects the goods. They have immediate, first-hand knowledge of what's going on, which makes them the most logical person in the world to confirm that the job is done.
And wow, this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? On the left, you've got that old, tangled process with all those different handoffs. But on the right, that's the GeM way. The buyer empowers the consignee right from the start. So as soon as the goods arrive, the consignee just takes over. They confirm receipt, they process the bill, and they trigger the payment. It creates this single, clean, unbroken chain of command.
So the big question is, how do you actually make this happen? Well, the great news is that GeM has made it incredibly simple for buyers to do this. Let's walk through the steps right now.
And check this out. It's not some complicated, separate process. It's built right into the checkout workflow you already use every day. No extra forms, no complex approvals. Let's see how it's done.
Okay, first things first. You just start by logging into your buyer account on gem.gov.in, just like you always do.
Once you're in, it's business as usual. Go ahead and find the items you need, add them to your cart, and head to checkout.
All right, so here we are on the checkout page. You'll fill in all the usual stuff, but the part we're interested in is a little further down the page. You're looking for the section called Financial Details.
And there it is. Seriously, this is the magic button. You'll see this question, do you want bill to be processed by a consignee? By default, it's set to no, but all you have to do is click yes. That one click is what sets this whole amazing, streamlined process in motion.
And that's pretty much it. Once you've clicked yes and finished the rest of the checkout, the order is placed. The system now knows that the consignee is authorized to handle the billing and payment as soon as they get the delivery. It's that simple.
So we've seen how easy it is to do, but why does this one little change matter so much? Well, this isn't just some minor tweak. It's a fundamental improvement to how government procurement works for everybody involved.
Well, the benefits here are huge. Transactions just flow more smoothly without all those bureaucratic delays. And most importantly, vendors get paid faster. That is a total game changer, especially for small and medium businesses that really depend on that cash flow. And since it's all happening on the GeM platform, the whole process is transparent, accountable, and leaves a crystal clear digital trail. This quote from the official documentation just hits the nail on the head. The main goal here is to create a more fluid, more trusted process that makes sure vendors are paid accurately and on time. That's how you build trust in the whole system.
Now, before we wrap up, there are just a couple of important things, a little bit of fine print that you'll want to keep in mind to get the full picture.
Okay, this table breaks down a really important detail. It all comes down to whether the paying authority is a pay and accounts officer, or PAO. So look at the first row. If they are not a PAO, it's simple. The consignee you authorize handles everything from start to finish. But if the authority is a PAO, they still have the final say. The consignee drafts the bill, but it's the PAO who gives the final sign-off to release the money. It's a key layer of financial oversight.
And listen up, because this is the one big exception you absolutely have to remember.
This feature, where the consignee processes the bill, is not available if the payment method for the order is PFMS, the Public Financial Management System. So if you're using PFMS, this option is off the table. For everything else, you're good to go.
So what's the big takeaway here? This is more than just a neat feature to speed up payments. It really represents a bigger shift in thinking, a move towards delegating authority to the people closest to the action. And that leaves us with a really fascinating question. Where else in public finance could we use this model of trusted, localized authority to build a faster, smarter, and more accountable system for everybody?